down position. So, and then we'll move up from there. So as usual, I have a blanket underneath the shoulder blades, but since this is a thoracic theme, we're going to go with that mid-spine, opening that up with gravity on our side right away. So just get a blanket, even if you're somewhere, if you're traveling and you have a neatly rolled sweater, that'll do the job. And if you really have that practice and you've used a block before, you can do that too. But I want to make sure that it's underneath, just underneath the shoulder blades here, and it's in the wide position. But a blanket will do just fine. So take yourself to our beginning meditation and breath connection by lowering yourself down on the mat. And again, I will show right here, just in case, to refresh people's memories about where to place the blanket underneath. You want it just at the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. And then you want the shoulder sockets to be melting towards, and to be in the back of the shoulders to be in contact with the mat. And you want to open your arms out into a T or a cactus position. And I'll show you, but then I'll sit up and guide you through the breath work. So you can keep the knees bent, the soles feet on the floor, or you can lengthen out, but just use your hands to help you down to that open position. And you'll have to adjust a little bit and feel free to cushion the head. So really make this your spa experience, whatever time zone you're on. We're just going to kind of get a connection here and a wake up to our breath work. So take the arms out long into a T, really expanding through the collarbones, or you can take them up into a cactus arms if you're limited on space. And just feel the difference. And you might want to wiggle a little bit, and you even can push through your feet towards the bottom of the mat if you have the knees bent, and you'll feel that little push behind the shoulder blades, pulling the skin down towards the bottom of the mat, and that will really open up that area. So settle in here, and this is our meditation. So just allow gravity to melt all of your energy down towards the earth, absorb all the tension out of the body into the earth. So it'll just slide off those shoulders. You can close the eyes to cut out the distractions around you. Notice when you close your eyes, you'll come into that internal awareness. So you'll notice the back of the skull on the mat. You'll notice the back of the shoulder sockets, so the tops of the shoulders against the floor. And behind your shoulder blades, you've got the blanket lifting that heart space up. So the thoracic spine and the ribs protect that area of the heart and some of those vital organs. So just feel that lift. And begin to notice your breath as we usually come to the beginning of our practice. Just the observer, just the witness. You can straighten the legs if you want to. Notice that your sacrum stays on the mat and your lower back is lifted off the mat. So you've got a natural arch in the spine, and you've got this great support beneath the shoulder blades. So coming into a conscious breath, notice an expansion when you breathe in on the inhale. If you can be conscious of bringing that expansion in all directions, so not just to the front of the rib cage, but to the back of the rib cage. And then on the exhale, feel that squeezing out of the air, and you'll just get that settling down of the rib cage into the blanket. Continue nice, relaxed breathing. Notice if your shoulders are hiking up towards your ears, make sure you roll those down. And now if you can transition into a 3-part breath, that's a nice rhythmic, conscious breath to come into. The first part will, on the inhale, is filling the belly, feeling that belly expand. The second part is feeling the rib cage expand. And the third is feeling that chest expansion, allowing that energy of the heart to shine upwards even more. And then the exhale, you feel the belly lower down, the rib cage and the shoulders, so everything releases. 3-part breath again, belly, rib cage, upper chest. Exhale, belly, rib cage, upper chest. Even your collarbones can get a massage here. Bringing that awareness into the back body as well. You're massaging those accessory muscles to your breathing, wrapping around your ribs, all those connective tissues. This is an internal massage that you can give yourself anytime. Continue the easy path of breath. And throughout the practice, you can come back to that 3-part breath to guide your movements, to make them more fluid, smoother. On your next exhale, flutter the eyes open and reach the arms next to the ears, so you're lengthening through the side bodies. Those connective tissues along the sides of the ribs, those are expanding towards those fingertips. You could take the left hand and take a hold of the right wrist and just give a tiny pull upwards towards the fingertips, and you could feel that right side lengthening even more. Exhale, release that and switch sides. So you take the right hand and grab the left wrist, and that same action, pushing through that left foot and through the left fingertips, so you expand through that left side. Supported underneath, you can really also just lengthen out, and this is so great for the posture. We are unslouching. And when we unslouch, everything becomes a little bit easier. Release the arms and just stay here for a moment. You can really expand the breath and then in turn, quiet the mind and support the mind and spirit a lot more easily. Inhale, exhale, roll over onto your side, remove the blanket behind you, and we're going to come into a twist right away. So just stay on your right side. Place that blanket to the side and come to on your right side with your thighs 90 degrees to the shins and the thighs 90 degrees to the body. Bring the palms together. We're starting with open book right away, just getting into that rotation of that mid spine. So we're not rotating the lower spine, that's staying solid as we keep the knees together. And it's the ribs, and of course we'll involve the upper spine as well. So let's take the left fingertips, glide them along the inside of that right arm, take the left hand to the heart. And then we'll take our mobility over to the left. So we're going to take the ribs over to the left first, guiding that opening with your hand, your left elbow out to the left. As you exhale, notice that descending towards the earth, and then open up the left arm into a T. Maybe you turn the neck and the head looking over those left fingertips. Notice your knees here. So let's check in with the knees. Maybe they started to separate. Marry those knees together. And then press through your right arm. And you can even bring yourself into a rotation a little bit more here. Follow your path of breath. And note, I want to make note that you don't push into this twist. You're just allowing a melting into the twist. So it's never pushing through a twist, it's just easing through the body. The ribs protect the organs and the mid-back protects them as well. So we don't want to push that area. There's a reason for that protection. So let's not push too hard, just melt. And then take your left fingertips towards the sky, reach the arm long and bring the palms back together, closing that amazing book. And then we'll take those knees and roll over onto the other side. Really luxurious opening here with a twist. Take your knees together, check in on those right ankles, and then take the palms together. Inhale, take the right fingertips along the left arm, right hand to that heart. Inhale, reach that elbow towards the sky, and then we'll turn the ribs over to the right. That heart, the shoulders open up into a long, expansive T from your left fingertips to your right fingertips into this luxurious twist. Your knees may have wanted to separate, check in with those. Make sure your beautiful spine is in that long alignment, that column, supporting the nervous system. Press through your left arm and see if you can come into the twist, encouraging it a little bit more, looking over your right fingertips. Exhale, melt a little bit more. Great, and then take your right fingertips up towards the sky, arm nice and long. And then we'll close that book down. And then use your hands to help you up. We're going to transition to seated. And because we're working with the mid-spine, we want to support the upper spine as well and open that up too. So let's just come to a seated. You can come into your kneeling position or your half lotus and sit up on the edge of a blanket or a block. Take your palms to that lower back and notice that you have that curve there. And just make sure that's there. If it's not, then you want to take yourself higher. It's just a nice supportive, healthy way to have a seat when you have that arch in the back. And to that, also on that note, when you're working on the computer and such, it's suggested to come to the edge of that seat you're on and not do that slouching action, but bring it up and allow that spine to curve in that lower part. It's a great practice during typing. Okay, come to the seat and take the fingertips beside you. Reach the crown of the head long, so we're really doing that extra lengthening as well through the spine. And our 3-part breath, so in belly, ribs, upper chest. Exhale, release it all out. Feel the shoulders drop away from the ears as you exhale. And then begin to turn your head over to the right, towards the right shoulder, chin over right shoulder. Come through center, and we'll just carve a path over to the left, keeping the chin neutral, over the left shoulder. Come back through center, look down at your heart, keeping those shoulders nice and tall, but stretching the back of the neck. Inhale, look up to the sky. And then face forward, take your palms upward, facing the sky, reach the arms up towards those clouds, sky, whatever's up there. Take a steeple hand, so point upwards with that index finger, clasp the fingers together, grow taller. See if you can just give a couple of millimeters between all those vertebrae, and then sway to the left. Be luxurious in this. Really expand, keep the sits bones rooted as you lean over to the right, feeling that stretch to the left, and then inhale back up to center. Use your exhale to release to the left. And then you can repeat, just encouraging those connective tissue a little bit more to open up. Back up to the top and then over to the left. Keep the breath nice and expansive. Release the hands, come down to T arms, reaching along so you feel those Collarbones reaching in that horizontal direction. Sweep the left elbow under the right and we'll come into eagle arms. So this is great relief for the neck, also the mid back. You can take your palms together or just the back of the hands, bringing our awareness into the center. So those hands, those arms are reminding you of the center. And inhale and exhale. Let's take the elbows out in front of you and then just pull them back on that horizontal plane towards the body, feeling the shoulder blades closing in together. And then let's take the elbows, slide over to the left, and then look over the left shoulder. Look forward again. Come back through center with the elbows and slide over to the right shoulder. Inhale, exhale, look over the right shoulder. And then come back, look to center, bring the elbows back with you as well. And we'll take the elbows down so you don't have to start curving through the back yet. You can just sort of begin to drop the shoulders down. That'll expand through those rhomboids in the back. Really bring the awareness to the back lungs. And then exhaling, we'll take the elbows towards the navel and the spine begins to curve into that cat position. Feeling the shoulder blades separate, look down, the head will follow. So I want to see that kind of curve there. Inhaling through the back body, allow that inhale to float you back up to vertical. And then we'll take the elbows upward. Follow the hands with your eyes and feel an imaginary hand behind the heart, just allowing you to look up and feel that back bend in the mid back. And then bring those elbows down again. Sweep the arms out to the side, nice and T, long T, and then exhale. Let's bring right under to left. Hand position as you wish. And then we'll take the elbows forward. Exhale, elbows back. Really nice. And then we'll take our electric slide. Take a right slide with those elbows over the right shoulder. Look over the right. Look back to the front. Take the slide across over to the left shoulder. Look over the left. Come back, look through center, and bring your elbows to center. Now begin to drop the elbows. Notice the action in the back of the body. And then bring the elbows towards the navel. Begin to curve the spine towards the back of the room. Drop the head. And now we'll do the opposite. So again, use that beautiful inhale, inflate and float up. And then bring the elbows up. Look at your hands. Look at all the mobility you're bringing into that mid-range of the spine. And exhale, delicious exhale back to our neutral position. And then release the hands. Just shake them out. Already feeling a lot of this beautiful expansion in the connective tissues. Let's take the arms out to a T with the palms forward. And as you do this, again, let's try to expand as if there were someone gently supporting you behind your heart. So you can really look up and do a tiny back bend before you hug yourself. Okay, and then we're going to take the right arm over left and take the fingertips towards the shoulder blades and curl the spine. So we're just giving a curl and a hug. And then expand again. Inhale, invite that breath in, exhale. Take that left over right. Holding onto the shoulder blades. Do it one more time. Just to celebrate this different world we're entering. Maybe we can hug each other, or maybe you already can. I don't know. We're getting there in Portugal. Okay, inhale, open the arms, and then exhale, hug again. Beautiful. Okay, release that. let's take another side bend just so that we can get that thoracic part open. So let's go up to the sky within a prayer position, and here holding that prayer strong. So press through the arms, you're getting that extra engagement in the shoulders as you lean over to the left and then the right. So that thoracic spine supports the shoulders and the neck. So when you address that, you can really get some relief in the neck and shoulders as well. Okay, come back up, release the arms, grab your blanket to cushion your knees, and we'll come to our tabletop and some lovely undulations in the spine. So grab that blanket and have your block if you have a block. If you don't, we do it blockless. No biggie, but if you have a block, that will help stabilize our pelvis. So blanket on the floor, crawl over onto that blanket. We're taking our all fours, nice even all fours. So the wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. And if you grab the block, you can really stabilize things a little bit more. I suggest any width of the block between the thighs, squeezing between the thighs, that allows you to have your knees hip width apart. So it all depends on the width of the hips, but check that out. So put that between the thighs if you'd like, and you'll feel as you squeeze the block, not too hard, but just kind of noticing it's bringing that awareness there and lightly squeezing. You'll really feel, okay, my pelvis is a lot more stable. And the same with our shoulders, of course. They're always kind of gliding on that rib cage, so right along the thoracic spine. So let's see if we can engage them more. Our usual technique, which is to imagine squeezing a magazine under the armpits. So you're just like under your arm, and maybe you can feel that engagement as you reach through the crown of the head. And let's take a beautiful fluid cat position. So we're going to tuck the tailbone as you squeeze the block, tuck the tailbone towards the floor and then lift up along into a C curve in the lower back, and then really lift the rib cage up. If there's some area in there that you've maybe neglected, as you drop the head, just notice the traveling along that mid spine, especially opening that up. Exhale. Let's come into a cow position. So tailbone is the beginning, lifts, and then through down to the navel, dropping to the floor, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then look up. And then come back to neutral. Now we're going to take it to the thoracic spine. So take the fingertips together, face them together, bend the elbows slightly, and we're just going to puff up, continue to squeeze the block. And we're going to puff up and separate the shoulder blades. So the back of the heart on the inhale is going to come towards the ceiling as you keep those elbows bent and just press through those hands. Exhale, you'll bring the shoulder blades together and you'll notice that the front of the heart melts towards those fingertips. So your head is pretty neutral here and your neck. You're really getting into that place in between the shoulder blades. Puff up on the inhale. On the exhale, melt down. Puff up again. Part of our de-slouching program here, and then melt down. And then take the fingertips forward again. Great. And then we're taking a beautiful twist here. It's called Twisted Child's Twisted Cat. So take your nice neutral stance here, and we're going to take the weight into that right hand as we lift the left arm up to the side. So first put it in horizontal, and then if you can, if that allows through your shoulder, lift it up just a little bit above horizontal and hold on to that. Plug in that shoulder so it's not just hanging out, but those shoulder muscles are really working. Your latissimus dorsi, keeping your spine stable. Latissimus dorsi, huge muscle under the arms. Hold that left arm. I know we're going to tone the arms a little bit here, so hold it for a few breaths. Up to that horizontal or even just above. Look over at your left hand for another breath, and then watch your left hand as it threads under your right armpit, and squeeze the block so you keep that pelvis stable as you bring your left ear down to the floor.
And just relax your head on the floor, the side there. Take your right hand next to your face, support yourself there. You're twisting through the ribs, the sternum, the shoulders, the head. And if you press into the earth a little bit with that right hand, maybe you'll bring yourself twist a little further, reaching through the left fingertips. Notice maybe your pelvis wants to sway around, so let's bring it back and keep it stable, as even as you can. Back to that 3-part breath, everybody. And if you want to, you can take those right fingertips and walk them along an imaginary clock toward 12 o'clock above the head, pressing through the fingertips. Exhale, release a little bit more each time. Spider hands, crawl back towards the face, unwind. The left arm comes out and back to all fours. Inhale, neutral spine, exhale, let's lift the right arm up this time. And maybe lift it up a little bit, just challenging those muscles. Again, plug it in. So bring the shoulder blade towards the spine on that right side so that it's engaged and not flapping around. I say that very much to myself as well because I have scoliosis in my mid-back. So I'm always challenged to keep that shoulder plugged in. Hold it there. You'll feel those muscles engage on that upper arm. Have a look at your right hand and then watch that hand as it threads underneath the left armpit. Bring the right ear down to the mat. And you've got your left hand. I'll just talk you through this. You'll have your left hand in front of the face. Notice, check in with your hips if they're trying to wiggle a little bit uneven. That happens from time to time. 3-part breath. And then take your left fingertips and walk them spider-like up towards 12 o'clock, if that works for you. If you have issues with the shoulder, don't push it. Just keep that hand next to the face and gently pressure will keep you reaching into that twist. Beautiful. And now unthread yourself using your left hand to help you back up. At this point, you can remove that block between the thighs. So just stir your prop. So put that over there. Coming back to our neutral spine, we're going to give a little more fluidity to the side body and to the spine. So let's come into the neutral, and we're going to do side to side this time. So take the right ear towards the right shoulder and the hip towards the right shoulder as well. So what you're doing is stretching out that left side. Come back to center, even with the breath, and then take the to the other side. So we're kind of like just a cow pose hanging out. It's not so much the arch, but just imagine our lovely animals in the field just swaying side to side. Stretching things out. Now come back to center, close the eyes, time for that moving meditation. So go back inside, inward with your mind's eye, go into that spine and take whatever movement that your spine wants. You can wiggle, you can swirl it, whatever you need to do. You can circle through the hips, but use this as a bit of a meditation for a few breaths. Feel the breath traveling up and down the spine in your mind's eye. Nice. Come back to neutral. And you're gonna turn your all fours around so that your mat is long ways beside you. So I'm turning my pose around, and let's move that blanket out of the way. And we're in all fours here. We're gonna come up to a low forward bend, a wide-legged forward bend, and our standing sequence, getting again into the upper back, but mid-back up, standing up. Let's curl the toes under, and then you're gonna bring the rib cage towards the thighs and bring the knees off the floor, pushing with the hands. Bring those feet closer to the hands and just keep the knees bent, and you can hang the head down. Take a moment here to just hang out, supported by your hands. If you have a block nearby, you can kind of bring that around your center point in front of the hands. And from here, with those knees bent, ease your feet out step by step. If you can heel toe, that's great, or you can just step out to a wide stance in the feet. So you want a strong footprint through the feet, but your hands are still supporting you beneath your face, and you've got nice strong feet, and kind of energize those feet together. So we're in a forward bend. Take the block if you want, if the hands don't come easily to the floor, and you can just place those on the block. This will allow you to, again, bring that awareness into the back body, the back of the lungs. Inhale into those lungs, the back, and feel the back lift up into a flat position, so your spine is long on the horizontal plane. Adjust the block however you want. And you can feel those sits bones reaching towards the back of the room, that neutral spine. Legs out long, straight legs, pressing through the feet. Now we're going to come into a twist from here. So take the left hand below the face, and we'll take that same hand to the heart, but while keeping the pelvis nice and steady, let's twist over to the right. Look over to the right, elbow to the sky, and then a nice long arm reaching up towards the sky. In this position, we're kind of preparing for our triangle pose later. So you want to lengthen through the collarbones from the floor to the sky. So just really feel that length there so you're not collapsing. And then exhale, take the right hand down to the block or the floor, left hand to the heart, elbow to the sky, twist to the left, reach up towards the sky. And then exhale, try it once more, left hand down, just make this flowing with your breath. Reach towards the sky, reach back down, switch sides. Really nice. Now, if you want that block support, you can do that. Inhale into that flat back, or just take the hands to the hips to actually take them to the top of the thighs, pressing through the feet, hinging at the hips. Keep that back nice and long. Great, I see some view. Beautiful, come on, nice and tall, but we're still in our wide stance. You can take that as wide or narrow as you need. That block might come in handy with our triangle, so keep it close by. And we'll begin with our sequence. So we're going to go through different warriors and then triangle, and get some nice vertical action through our rib cage. Inhale, take the hands to the hips. And we're just in our nice wide stance. So you can sense that energy between the feet. Please connect with those first. Nice wide toes, if you can, reaching out. Beautiful. And then let's reach the arms out to the side and then up to the sky. So again, in that prayer position up above you, really lengthen out here. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, we'll transition the feet as we exhale. Take the right toes to the side and take the left feet at an angle about 45 degrees or maybe 30 degrees. And then we're going to bend the right knee towards those toes, the right toes. And then you're going to drop the pelvis. So whatever it takes to drop down, that's to drop the pelvis down, not leaning over towards the right like this, but dropping down into the center point. And then we'll take the arms out into the T position, looking forward first so you can get that sense of the midline, right? And then look over your right fingertips and look Feel that sense of your left fingertips reaching behind you. So they're not, again, just kind of a lazy arm, but an active arm reaching to what's behind you and what's in front of you. And now I want to do folding, I'll call unfolding warrior, which is, or archer pose. We'll take the left hand towards the chest, bend the arm, and then slide along the right arm so that your palms will start to meet or almost meet at the palm to palm. So left reaching towards right. And then you're gonna pull back with that left hand to the heart again, and just look briefly here like you're an archer, but then gently unfold and begin to watch your left hand go behind you. So you're twisting through the neck as well. And then come back as you're pressed through the feet, keep that nice solid foundation, back and forth. So follow your breath and just pull. We're gonna do this 3 times. Look over the left fingertips, release behind you. Slide through towards the right hand. And then let go. Release, watch it release. And then look over your right fingertips back to proud warrior or warrior 2. Drop the left fingertips towards your left thigh, the back of the left thigh. Take the right palm to the sky. And then watch your hand as it reaches up towards the sky. Look up, grow long through your right side body. So again, we're getting into that mid-spine. As you look up, you'll feel that hand behind you drop, or you can hold on to the thigh. Peaceful warrior. Exhale, come back to proud warrior. And then we'll straighten the right leg and pivot the toes forward into parallel. Good job. Inhale, let's reach up long again. And exhale, let's pivot the toes to the other side. So use that dropping of the arms to guide the dropping of the hips as well. Bend the left knees over towards those middle 2 toes. And your stance is narrowed, so you have the front heel with the back arch. Look over the left fingertips while keeping that awareness of your center. Pressing through the feet, feel them pull together energetically. And now we'll begin our archer. So fold that right arm, bring the right palm towards the left. Exhale, pull back into archer. Watch the right hand as it unfolds, straightening out the arm and then back again. Follow your breath. 2 more times. Looking back over your left fingertips, back into our proud warrior. We'll come into our peaceful. So drop the right fingertips towards the right thigh. You can hold on there, just drape the fingertips down. Take the left palm towards the sky and then bring those fingertips up as you look at the hand. Try not to strain the neck, rather sense that nice curve of the spine going all the way through the head, or reaching through the crown of the head, relieving any stress on the neck. Beautiful. Exhale into proud warrior. And then we'll straighten out the left knee, pivot those toes forward, take the hands to the hips, roll the shoulders behind you. Make sure they're nice and relaxed. And now we'll come through a goddess pose before we go to our triangle. So we're going to take our heels inward and keep the knees tracking over the toes. And we'll take those hands high again. So we're going to come into this from hands up above. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, bend the knees towards those toes and bring that prayer position past the third eye, past the mouth, the throat, down to the heart. Beautiful. So standing strong, you're reaching through the tailbone. So you've got a gentle arch in the spine, but you're reaching downward, engaging the core and the legs, of course. Now reach out in front of you, palms together. Now we'll take the back of the hands together
Exhale in a big sigh, and we'll part the seas here. Bring that together again. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. And now we're going to come back up, straighten the legs, hands to the hips, and then we'll take this same alignment of the feet like in Proud Warrior, but we're going to go into triangles. So take that block and put it near your right foot if you'd like. So I really want you to bring, you know triangle because everyone here probably knows it, but I want you to bring that awareness into the rib cage this time more than usual. Make the triangle almost an opportunity to rotate a little bit more and look skyward or even look at your toes. So let's take the hands to the tops of the thighs and you get that sense of growing upwards through the crown of the head. And your exhale, you're going to hinge at that right hip point or hip hinge, and then reaching along through the spine, both sides of the body towards the right, towards those right toes. Press the feet, pull those feet together, have this be that nice strong foundation. You take your hand down to the block or your shin. That's okay too if you don't have the props. And then take the left hand to the hip, but then take the left thumb to the armpit and use that leverage to grow a little taller through both sides, right? And then reach upwards towards the sky with your left fingertips. Nice long arm. Now imagine someone's kind hand is behind the right ribs. So you're going to curl upwards. The heart looks up. Maybe you look up. If that strains your neck, you can look down. But feel that rib cage rotating, right? Reaching long and strong. Take the left hand to the hip, press through the feet. That inhale floats you back up, nice and easy, back up to standing in the middle. Let's take a nice strong goddess pose again. Angle those heels inward, turn out the toes. Exhale, come down, descend into our squat. Reminding yourself of all of those amazing large muscles keeping you strong, right? Now let's cross the arms in front of the heart. So just another hug here. And we're gonna take a ride with the rib cage. So we're gonna take the left shoulder towards the left knee and then curl forward. And make this easy through the head and then over towards the right and then up again. So it's more on that horizontal plane. We're just taking the left ear down, leaning forward, over towards the right, and then reverse the direction, holding strong to those legs. Right shoulder towards the right knee, forward, and then left knee and back up. One more time. And testing our deep foundational strength there. Okay, come back up and straighten the legs. Take the block to the other side if that's what was helping you before. So take the left toes, curl them out to the side. And then we'll take that nice angle with the feet. Hands to the hip, to the hinge of the thighs and the hips. Grow tall. Inhale, exhale, spine long, tilt over. You're on a nice plane, like you have the window in front of you and behind you, keeping you on that plane. Take the hand to the shin or the block. Take the right thumb into the right armpit, grow through the spine, and you feel that core. So you want to point the tailbone towards that back heel, really engaging your core there. Yeah, and then reach up to the sky, collarbones long, like we did in that earlier twist. Imagine that kind hand behind your left rib. Can you rotate that up a little bit? Look up at the heart, maybe look up at the hand or down. Using this as a nice rotational opportunity. And then look down at your feet or gaze forward as the right hand comes to the hip, right hip, and press through the feet. Use the inhale to journey yourself back up. Beautiful.
Take the toes forward, and you can take that block in front of you if you want. When we go down later, let's take another goddess, because I love that, strengthening those nice hip flexors that support below us. Exhale into that victory squat, goddess. And let's do another beautiful parting of the C's. So take the arms in front of you, hands together, backs of the hands together. This transition, inhale, 3-part breath. Exhale, let's part the C's. We have this immense power. Bring it in, palms together. Exhale, release. Tap into your strength and your ability of your breath to release and invite in anything good. Okay, straighten the legs. Take the feet forward again. We're going to hinge at the hips and go into that forward bend on our way down. So hinge forward, keeping the back, neck and back nice and long. And we'll come down to that block or just your fingertips or your hands, folding at the hips. Now you can release the spine down. So you're kind of folding down, maybe getting a little stretch through those hamstrings in the back. Release the head, even though I'm not quite showing that here, so you can hear me. Release the head down, the neck. You can even nod your head a little bit just to get that extra release through the shoulders and the neck. Beautiful. Everything upside down. Fun to see it that way sometimes. And then I'm going to make it yogi's choice, whatever's a comfortable way for you to get down to the floor. You can do that now. You can hold on to the block and heel toe yourself in, bend the knees in towards a squat, or you can come to all fours, whatever is a preferable way for your body to get down into our, towards our bridge. So we'll take a nice back bend as well. And take the soles of the feet to the floor and take the hands behind the thighs on the way down. Keep the knees bent. Keep the neck long, nice, the spine long through the crown of the head. And then I want you to take like about 15 counts to go down to our recline position, so that you're not just, so that you keep that core engaged on the whole way down. Reach the arms out towards the other side of the mat, so you're nice and long through the arms. Curl down through the spine. Notice where the spine or the core wants to collapse, and just be aware and try to hold a little bit longer. A few more counts. Make a nice full exhale to release down to the floor. Take the soles of the feet so that you can reach them with your arm, with the fingertips, laying your arms alongside your body. And the feet are hip width apart, so are the knees. Our amazing spine back in our horizontal position. And take that block, and you can place it in between the thighs if you'd like, just to have some extra engagement on this bridge. We're just going to take a short journey through the bridge here. So lift the hips up, squeeze the block, and you'll place the arms long on the mat. This should really feel like a nice spa experience. If you want a further spa and you don't want to effort too much, you can just place the block under the sacrum and relax there as well. Or press the arms into the mat, reach those knees long away from the crown of the head and the crown of the head away. So you're lengthening out, squeezing those glutes, squeezing the block. Take the elbows to the mat, take the fingertips to the sky. Inhale, let's reach towards the sky. So we're lifting that rib cage up and the sternum's coming towards the chin. Press through the feet. Reach the arms long next to the ears. Exhale. Notice the breath pattern changing here in a different position. And then reach out towards the sky, elbows down, arms straight down. Snake the spine as slowly as you can, back down to earth. Placing that amazing triangular sacrum down last, imprinted below you. Beautiful. And then remove the block. And again, another celebration of our T spine. We're going to take our painting rainbows, chalk rainbows, twist. So if you have any issues with your shoulder, I want you to be super careful with this one, not to go into a full rotation if your body doesn't allow it. Roll over, we'll start on the right side. So we'll take that same right angles with the legs, checking in your geometry here. And then take your palms together. But this time, instead of our slide open book, we're going to grab an imaginary color of chalk. And some of us are probably coloring eggs recently, who knows? But anyway, it's a colorful time of year no matter what. So take that chalk and you'll trace a rainbow. Watch your hand as it traces an arc above your head. And then if it goes all the way to the end of a rainbow arc to the other side, you'll end up in a twist like we were before. But if it doesn't go all the way, don't push it, come back to meet the other hand and just trace it. Then grab another color of chalk and trace it above your head. Watch that hand as it goes. That gives you that awareness that you're not pushing too far. Just watch and grab another color each time, back and forth. Getting our shoulder support here as well. So again, any pinching or any pain in the shoulder, you need to not go the whole arc. But as you open up into the arc, feel matching your movement is that rotation of the ribs. Inhale, 3-part breath. Exhale, 3-part breath. I hope you imagine a beautiful rainbow around you, and then you're going to roll over onto your other side. And then check your right angles, grab that piece of chalk with the right side. So as I was saying, I have scoliosis. I'm definitely asymmetrical. So when I grab on this side, my right arm and my shoulder has a different alignment. So I have to really watch it, but you can watch your hand again as it goes around. And then I notice I have a little bit of looseness in that right side. So I just stop there and then come back towards the left hand. Grab another color in your imagination, and up. Maybe each time you go a little bit further, but ease into this. One more color, and then we'll meet back with our palms together. Beautiful. Okay, now we can roll over onto the back. And if you'd like to really give your lumbar spine a break, you can take that roll blanket underneath your knees. If you want to come into an easy pose, you can take the soles of the feet to the floor, the knees together, keep the feet a little wider than hip width. That's a yummy spa experience. Cushion your head, even place something rolled under the neck. So lay out long, come into that awareness of the length of that spine,
of the extension from toes all the way to the crown of the head, draping down, allowing gravity to connect you to the earth again. Open the palms out to the sky. That will open up your collarbones. And if you shimmy the shoulders a little bit, you'll see if you can get them a little closer to the mat. You can also take the hands and in fists and grab the side of your mat, pull down towards your feet. You'll feel the skin slide there and bring the shoulders in that lovely, relaxed alignment. Close the eyes, come back to your mind's eye inside. So watching the breath expand, belly, rib cage, upper chest, and even behind the shoulders. Exhaling, same, belly, rib cage, upper chest. Notice in your mind's eye, give a body scan. Is there any lingering tension? Breathe into those places. Or better yet, maybe you've made some positive changes in the body. So notice what you've shifted. I'm confident that after this practice, your posture will feel more supported. Your breath, I hope, will feel more expansive. The breath bringing our entire body into a coordinated whole from the toes all the way to the crown of the head to the fingertips, sending the message through the breath to expand, to release, to cleanse, to invite in all of the lovely things you'd like to invite in. And through the exhale, to release anything you do not need, anything you would like to leave behind. Continue exploring your breath. Quiet the mind. If any tension in the mind lingers, just watch that stress go by like a cloud in the sky. Acknowledge the changes you've made in your body, mind, and spirit through your practice today. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. The arms and the legs. Bend the knees. Roll over onto your right side to make a gentle transition to seated position, helping yourself up with your hands. Let's meet in prayer position, thumbs in front of the heart. Thank you so much for sharing the practice with me today. Namaste.